Hello, everybody. You know what time it is. It's time to play the villain of Legacy. So, if you're not familiar with the SnowKo deck, you'll notice, for one, it has 4 different types of basic lands in it. It has spells of all 5 colors, and all of this made possible by Arcum's Astrolabe. This card is banned in Pauper and Modern. Uh, Legacy is the youngest format it's legal in, and there's been a lot of controversy about this card. The argument is that it makes mana too good. Decks shouldn't be able to just play all the best spells. It ruins the color pie, and they're probably right. But for now, it's legal, so I'm gonna be casting spells of all 5 colors. Astrolabe combos, well, not really combos, but complements one of Legacy's other most controversial cards, which is SnowKo Thief of Crowns. Again, Legacy is the oldest card, or the youngest format this card is legal. It was banned in Standard, Pioneer, Modern. So here we are in Legacy. We still get to play SnowKo. So SnowKo is a general answer to a lot of problems. It can make food to gain you life if you're getting beat down. It can turn problem permanents into elks. So Tarmogoyf, that's a 3/3 instead of a 5/6. Chalice of the Void, now it's a 3/3 instead of a Chalice of the Void, etc. You get the deal. If you're not familiar with SnowKo, you're in for a treat because this card is pretty messed up. A lot of people, basically like the hot topic in Legacy right now is, should SnowKo be banned? And I'm on the side of no, but I understand the arguments from people who think that it should be. And another hot one is Uro, Titan of Nature's Wrath. So Uro gives you crushing late game inevitability. It draws cards, it puts lands into play, and it keeps coming back unless it gets exiled. And then complementing this suite of threats, there's just tons of answers. Many of the best answers in Legacy's history: Swords to Plowshares, Force of Will, and then some new ones in Force of Negation that just gives you more Force of Wills, helps you not die. With SnowKo and Uro in the deck, if you stay alive, you're probably going to win. Your only job is to not die. And then Icefang Coatl, really great card. A cantrip, death touching flying threat, interacts really well with anyone who's trying to attack your life total. Abrupt Decay, one of the best removal spells ever printed. So this deck is just full of bangers. There is not a wimpy card anywhere in this. Every single thing packs a punch when it lands. And then the sideboard is just, great spells across all 5 colors. Pretty standard stuff here. I'm excited I get to play with one of my dearest friends, Ashiok, Game Ender. If this thing resolves in the matchups where it matters, the game ends, and I love that feeling. So this deck is kind of the villain of Legacy, though it's grown to become the hero. People were complaining nonstop about this deck's existence for a long time, and then it fell out of the metagame. Rug Delver took over, and this deck is really strong against Rug Delver. So this is the old enemy swooping in to beat up the current enemy, and it's only a matter of time until this is the enemy again. So it's almost like a healthy metagame is at play here. Think what you want about SnowKo. There and Arcum's Astrolabe. The format is evolving. Things keep changing. There's a different top dog every couple weeks, and other decks are viable along the way. But I know that a lot of people see this as the villain, so I'm going to be the villain today. Let's go do some villainous things. All right, we're on the draw for game 1. Unfortunately, this land does not cast Astrolabe or anything in the hand, so I'm going to mulligan. If that was a snow basic of any variety, I would have kept that hand. Oh, this one is a banger. Okay, so I think I want to get rid of Tropical Island. I have Astrolabe, I have Uro, I can cast all my spells. Underground Sea is a scary card because generally only combo decks play it. I guess they could be some sort of Grixis Delver or Death Shadow, whatever. But generally, Underground Sea is a sign of broken things to come. Mesmeric Orb? What? Okay, are we playing against the Four Horsemen? Is that a deck that is in Legacy these days? Alright, so I have... Alright, I mean, this Uro is going to be as fueled as possible. I guess we'll see what they're up to. We're already having a good time. Scheming Symmetry, huh? Okay, that's funny, because it's just like... straight up Vampiric Tutor. I guess that's not even true. Like, I don't know what's happening. All right, so I could destroy one of these Mesmeric Orbs, or I could cast Coatl and just mill 4. I'm going to do that. So this creates a clock, kind of, I guess. All right, I'm getting milled for 4. I'm kind of hoping to just mill an Uro. Maybe I should have led with the Abrupt Decay, but we'll figure out where this goes. If this is Four Horsemen, that's a deck that wins by playing Basalt Monolith and Mesmeric Orb. Basalt Monolith taps for 3 and then untaps for 3, so you can mill your whole deck for fun and profit. Glimpse the Unthinkable. Oh, they're just straight up targeting me, so this is in fact a mill strategy. Okay. Alright, they hit an Uro. Whoops. Alright, now it's time to do this. I should probably also fetch now while there are still lands in my deck. There's no red cards in the main. I don't need to get that. I don't need another basic forest. Okay, Tundra. Looks like many of my basics were in fact milled. Oh no. I don't need this Uro. Yep. Alright. I'm not trying to get archive trapped. Do you have another one? Yep. Alright. Actual mill. Okay, so I think I need to just get Uro into play and hope I don't lose. Though Uro drawing cards when it does anything is kind of awkward. So I don't think the attack for 1 is worth the mill 1 that'll come with it. Glimpse the Unthinkable. Alright, so I just lose. Okay. Well, we got milled. So what do I want to do about that? Veil of Summer is going to be insane against this deck. Probably Pyroblast counters Glimpse and Archive Trap. I could bring in Trophy. That could mess up some of their tricks. Like the Mesmeric Orb at least. So I don't think I need Cling to Dust in this matchup. Coatls can probably be shaved. I want all my forces. I probably want Snapcaster if they're going to fill my graveyard up for me. Alright, these are these are the things I would like to bring in. Plague Engineer, Dead of Winter can go. I don't need all 3 arrows because they're going to be nicely giving them to me. They're probably going to bring in Graveyard Hate also, so I got to watch out for that. Decay seems like it's good. I probably don't need the trophy on top of all the decays. Oh, Swords to Plowshares seems like it's unlikely to have many targets. So that makes room for trophy again. I could bring in Ashiok, but I don't think I need to. I think this looks fine. This Leovold is the last question mark. Like if they are going to bring in like surgical extractions and clip my arrows, that leaves only Oko as a reasonable win condition. But Leovold can also attack. So I can get rid of these. Alright, this is the deck I'm submitting. I'll keep this. It's super awkward because it does not have a Astrolabe. So I can get, there's no way, like the mana does not support Abrupt Decay and Pyroblast on turn 2. Like there are just not enough. There's no like bad lands in the deck. So I'm gonna ponder this turn. I think I want to do it off of a tropical island. I am not going to shuffle because I am interested in lands. They could archive trap me here. There was no playing around that. I can let one of those resolve. That's not a big deal. Go ahead, fuel my Uro. I want to save my counter spells for like the recurring sources like the orbs. I hope they didn't mill my volcanic island. Alright, they didn't. Volcanic island's still in the deck. I probably should have fetched in response to their fetch. Alright, I'll fetch now. Like, they didn't double archive trap me, so unless they found one in their draw step, this brainstorm makes it a little worse, but the archive trap, it seems like those shields were down. Oh, no, they found another one. But that's why we play Pyroblast. And I'm pretty sure this Coatl is just going to be better off as Force of Will fuel. Yeah, I'll fight over that. Like now the only, like the biggest hurdle is going to be getting Uro into play. Like we just need to, okay, what does that do? It names Oko probably. All right, yep, Oko has been named. So I'm gonna get Underground Sea. My basic forests are still in the deck. So Uro is free to roam. Oh no, this is a wasteland deck too. I guess that makes perfect sense. Don't go after my red. So that sucks too. That does set us back to 0 green. I guess I should have floated green, but I wasn't going to decay this anyway. Is this a glimpse? Scheming symmetry. All right, so each player searches their card. So this can turn on Archive Trap, I guess, is the plan here. What do I want on top? Probably just basic forest. If a graveyard has 20 or more cards, one certainly does. Or it does. Oh, my graveyard has exactly 20 cards in it. 20 or more cards. Yeah, I don't really want them to Ancestral Recall right now. And I'll fetch my other basic forest right now while I'm pretty sure the coast is clear. All right, this is the card they searched for. Oh no, is it Surgical Extraction? This is my nightmare. All right. So my arrows are gone. That lined up quite well. So now we have to win with Coatls and SnowKo, and SnowKo is currently under Pithing Needle. Oh god. This matchup is a nightmare. All right, so Sylvan Light, my Snapcaster Mage is gone. All right, I definitely have to destroy Ashiok. Like, there's just no playing through that. All right, we have a win condition now. Green, blue. So you just have to hope they draw literally nothing for 17 turns. All right, that's probably really good. So here we're seeing the problem with mail decks. Which is that you do all this stuff, and then your opponent is still just playing Magic, and you're basically not. Okay, so do I need to kill this crab? I'm not sure. I guess I might as well kill it. Because I have the card in their hand is not a land, or they would have played it already. Yeah, I have the Veil, so that'll stop most spells. I should use my permanent answer to get rid of their permanent mill. All right, the shields are going up. I do have to be careful with my cantrips, though, because assuming nothing else happens, I'm gonna win with 5 cards left in my deck, and if I just like willy-nilly Coatl and Veil and whatever, I could easily get 5 cards too deep. Or, Brainstorm. I'm not gonna Brainstorm right now because my hand is full of cards I want. Like basically in this position, I just want my hand to be counter spells, and it already is, so there's no reason to Brainstorm. I think Archive Trap costs 5 on the hard cast. Okay, yep. I suspect their hand is Archive Traps and stuff, because what else would it be? So I can Brainstorm in the end step. Or no, I just played my land, so I don't want to do that anymore. I was thinking of Brainstorming the land away, but obviously that's not the plan anymore. That's not a card I want to mess with. That would have been a nightmare if they had a second one. Oh my god. All right, there's SnowKo. That's an easy one to Brainstorm away. That one's actually bad right now. But if the Brainstorm finds Abrupt Decay or Assassin's Trophy, then this gets good suddenly. All right, so I'm gonna Brainstorm here. All right, so Sylvan Library is not great. SnowKo, backup SnowKo is not great. Let's trophy that. All right, so now I kind of want the backup SnowKo in case they counter the first one. And now we have a real clock. All right, so they didn't hardcast Archive Trap in the end step. I'm having a hard time imagining what their hand is right now. Yeah, I'm not going to fetch. You're not going to bait me. So turning this Coatl into an elk doesn't change the clock, so I'm not going to do it. So if I play Sylvan Library, that's 2 extra permanents for Mesmeric Orb. I think I'm just going to have to live in that world. If their hand is multiple Archive Traps, I lose. Okay, it's not. All right, do they have a big flourish to win the game? Veil of Summer is the perfect card if they do. Ooh, Veil is not the perfect card. Like, if they glimpse... Alright, it looks like they're just passing priority. Because if they cast Glimpse the Unthinkable, I Veil, I have 13 cards left in my deck, and then in response they Archive Trap. Okay, now I don't think I can lose. Alright, yeah, so like I was saying, mill decks, they're fighting on a different axis, and if you don't get over the finish line, it's just embarrassing. You may draw a card. All right. So we confirmed the mill plus surgical extraction combo is in this deck, to the surprise of nobody at all. So an additional win con is fine, and they can't like combo deck me by targeting me a bunch of times because Leovold is optional. I think we can confirm there's nothing to plow. I'm glad I brought in the Assassin's Trophy because they have their own Ashioks. I guess the last question is, do I want Priest and or Plague Engineer? Probably Priest, not Engineer, just as more ways to attack my opponent. I think I can go one less Sylvan Library, one more win condition. As they seem to have basically nothing, no defensive capabilities. I haven't seen a Force of Will or removal spell out of them. All right, this hand is great. It even lets me fetch because I have the Veil of Summer. Oh, crab. So I think I just lead on Astrolabe. Like they can mill me for like 16 probably with crab plus glimpse, or like fetch land plus glimpse the unthinkable. But next turn I can pyroblast crab with Veil of Summer backup. And like I was saying last game, just like a burn deck, removing the repeatable source of mill is the important one because you can mop up the spells. Like you can just do math and mop up spells later. Like this is their Eidolon of the Great Revel compared to their Lightning Bolt, which is Glimpse the Unthinkable. I hope they do that when I have Snapcaster Mage in my hand. Alright, so Underground Sea is gone. Tropical Island is still in the deck. I want the Volcanic Island now, though. Oh, no, I didn't. I wanted the Tropical Island. I guess it doesn't matter. Astrolabe is going to save me. Alright, they don't have Archive Trap, so that makes me want to blast this right now. It sucks they had two of those. That's like the best card in their whole deck. Oh, they had three of them. Cool. I can Veil. Oh, please fetch in response. They fetched in response last time. Damn it. Looks like they learned how to play their cards. Okay. Milled. Milled. So it's time to brainstorm. I have so many lands in my hand. Alright, that's pretty good. I'm going to put away these fetch lands because I don't care if those get milled. Oh, this triple crab draw is bullshit. Mesmeric Orb. Okay. Island and Tundra are what's left. I guess I want the Tundra. They've shown me Wasteland, but I'm going to be playing non-basics anyway. I am kind of green screwed. Like, I want multiple sources of green in play so I can be abrupt decaying. And I have no black either, so this has just worked out poorly so far. All right, Eliminate and Thoughtseize. So they do have defensive spells in their deck. Not that they've needed them this game. All right, there is now an Uro in my graveyard. They have the Surgical. They have Glimpse. I guess this is as good a time as any to Veil. So what happens if I Brainstorm? I have to mill 4 cards. I don't think that's worth it. I am just bleeding right out to this deck, these crabs. So I can decay a crab in response to a fetch. All right, so Scheming Symmetry. So they must have a plan to draw cards right now, and they're probably going to try to mill me right now too. But what's happening right now? So if their last card in hand is a cantrip, they get their card right now. If it's not, they lose their card right now. Like, they can fetch to mill me, so I lose my card. But if they do that, they lose their card, and if they untap, they mill their card. I'm not sure what's happening right now. Pretty sure Pyroblast is what I want, because I have to start answering these permanents. All right, so I've drawn my card. They're going to have to mill theirs. All right. Well, there's all that, I guess. I'm in so much trouble to these crabs. They have so many lands in play. This Ashiok would have been really good against their fetch land plus crab strategy. So they can mill me for 2, 4, 6 at will. Oh no, 9 at will. Great. All right, so I'll decay this. So if I play this Coatl, that puts me at 9 cards left in my deck. But so does everything else. I mean, I might just have to go for Uro. So green, green, blue, blue. All of these options are bad, though. They all draw me cards. Time to figure out if there's any lands left in my deck. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because I only need to know about mana producing lands. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There are 10 mana producing lands used up already. And I play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Oh wait, no. The plains is still in my deck. Island, forest. Yeah, the plains is still on my deck. So Misty Rainforest is not helpful here. Got it. They have me just like super checkmated, because if I go to remove one of these, they fetch in response. And if I don't remove them, they can just play lands. So I just have to hope they don't draw lands ever. All right, so now I can Snapcaster Veil of Summer. They're drowning me in the lock. All right, so Snapcaster. This line gets destroyed by Surgical Extraction. This line also just gets destroyed by the cards that they're playing. Yeah, I think I needed to brainstorm in response and look for a removal spell in response to that fetch land. So now if I brainstorm, I just lose. All right, yeah, all right. We got beat by their triple crab draw. Maybe I should have had my Swords to Plowshare still in the deck. I didn't see the crabs game 1, but I did see them game 2, so I should have brought some of these back in. We just got totally crushed because we couldn't answer permanents. But like we saw, their draw was completely non-functional without the Hedron crabs. So we definitely could have sideboarded better for that, or left in the Dead of Winter or something. So I guess they got me milled out in Legacy. So here we are in round 2. We're on the draw. This hand, if this was a Ponder or an Astrolabe, I think I'd keep it. Our opponent's on 6, and triple Oko is not what you want. I think I am going to keep this hand anyway. It has Force of Will for interaction. All 3 Okos makes it easy to pitch something. I'm on the draw, so I get 2 draw steps before I have to brainstorm. So I get to see the top 5 cards in my deck looking for a land. All right, they are a Thespian stage strategy of some variety. Oh, this is usually pretty good against that kind of deck. So now I am pretty happy with this keep, though this Swords to Plowshares is not currently castable. It will depend on what this draw step and brainstorm yield me. Pithing Needle, huh? Alright, well, I'll fetch before they can just strip mine me. Shark Typhoon. Oh, good guess. You're normally in the ballpark, but that's not what I'm up to today. Alright, moment of truth. All right, got there. So Plague Engineer is probably not what we need in this matchup, and we don't need all three of these Okos. I do want these lands around, though. I guess I have to get Tundra here for the plow. That also lets me continue bluffing that we are a Shark Typhoon deck. I don't think I want any of this stuff. Yeah, that is funny. Every card that I've played so far, it looks like we're just my usual blue-white. Getting the Tundra opened me up to Wasteland, but not getting Tundra opens me up to Merit Lage, and I'm more worried about that. So what could get me here? Like this mono brown start is not what they want. Even the decks that are just trying to make Merit Lage don't really want to. Okay. Okay, so they had Simian Spirit Guide for Elvish Reclaimer. So they don't have any lands, which means they have 3 spells in their hand. Bummer. Maybe I should have kept that fetch land on top with that Ponder last turn, because I don't have any green mana. So I think I have to just plow this thing. Like, showing me that they're missing their land drop and being willing to exile Spirit Guide to get that thing into play must mean they value it. Shit. That's exactly what I didn't want them to do. I'll Force of Will. Okay, I'm not going to Force of Will that. If they had played another Reclaimer or Crop Rotation or something, I would have forced that, but not anymore. I really wish Sylvan Library was in play. I messed this game up pretty bad. I was so busy bluffing that we were miracles that I forgot that we're not miracles. What are you gonna do? All right, so they. All right, that was a good find. So there's a good chance that they have Dark Depths in hand. Like, why would you keep this hand if it didn't have a Dark Depths to go with all these stages? And they just cleared the way. They checked with the Thoughtseize. So if they have the Dark Depths here, which I suspect that they do, then I have Sylvan Library plus Brainstorm to find a way to interact with Merit Lage before I die. Okay, so they did not have it here. That's lucky. I think we just went from kind of behind to way ahead. Because if they crop rotate, I have 1,000 ways to counter that. And by 1,000, I mean 2. Yes, I would like to use this ability. I'm gonna put Force of Negation on top and pay 4 to keep the planes. So now I have so many things covered. I only have 1 green source, but I think getting Oko into play. So if they have Crop Rotation and Veil of Summer, what happens here? So this, they Crop Rotate then they have Dark Depths and exactly enough mana left. So they don't have enough mana to crop rotate Veil of Summer and activate their stage. So I think I'm safe to Oko here. And if I have to force, I'm going to pitch the other Oko. Like Icefang Coatl, it digs me deeper and stops Merit Lage for a turn. Alright, Wizard needs food badly. If I had another green, I would just feel unbeatable. But alright, they didn't crop rotate either, but they do know about the force, so they wouldn't just jam into it. They are going to try to sculpt something together here. Alright, there's crop rotation. So I have Force of Negation on top of my deck. I can Brainstorm and then other Force if I need to. Alright. They didn't have it. So if I pay 8, I go to 5. I think I want to do that. Alright, no, I can put Force of Negation back, because I have Force of Will. No, whatever. I'll just pay 8. I have Oko. I can never lose. Yeah, so I can Force of Negation on the hard cast and also pitch for Force of Will. And cast. So I can hard cast Force of Negation, pitch for Force of Will, and cast Icefang Coatl all this turn. Inquisition of Kozilek. I don't know what my top card is right now. All right, and they packed it up. Yeah, that was just classic SnowKo. They thought seized me, they had some disruption, but I had enough different types of answers that it didn't matter. All right, so Veil seems pretty good, Ashiok's good, Trophy is good. Surgical is not the best. Snapcaster is great. Plague Engineer, not really what I'm looking for. I can name Vampire and just take off Hexmage, but I don't think that's how I want to win this game. All right, Cling to Dust doesn't matter in this matchup. Coatl's great. Decay is, like, fine, I guess. They could bring in Chokes, which is, I guess if I'm... Well, Trophy can hit lands, Decay can't, so it's not like Decay is just strictly better than Trophy here. And I'm going to shave on a Force of Negation also. Or I can lose the Sylvan Library. That might be better to get rid of than Force of Negation. Though I have brought in these Veils, which helps against discard. I don't think Leovold is where I want to be. Yeah, so these 4 cards over here are all options. I have 1 slot left. I probably do just want the Sylvan Library. Though, like, they're like juking me into like just choking me out. That's how Like, I feel pretty good in this matchup if I don't get choked or locked out, like Winter Orb, just some stupid permanent that I can't play through. Though worth noting, because of Astrolabe, this deck does have 4 lands in it that are not islands, and I can still continue to cast blue spells through it. Alright, Sylvan Scrying. Yeah, the turbo version of this deck is a lot worse against me than other versions, than the mid-range or like actual lands. So I'm gonna hold up Veil of Summer instead of casting Ponder. Because the play pattern that they want to follow is probably a discard spell sooner than later. And if I can set up like Veil to protect from protect my plow, then we're gonna be all right. All right, so I have to fetch Tundra with this one. I guess I didn't need to fetch anything yet. I can just hold my horses. No, I do want to ponder here. Definitely shuffle that because we're looking for lands. So this is probably the turn that they want to cast discard spells. Like they check my hand this turn, and then next turn they go for their depths. Vampire Hexmage, okay. I think I just want to Force Will that. I'll pitch this Coatl. Like I don't want them to have multiple ways to mess with me. They could have Spirit Guide, Veil of Summer here, I guess. I didn't even need to do that. I could just decay the Hexmage. Wait, no, I can't. I don't have enough green and black mana to do both. Decay and hold up Veil, and I think holding up Veil is more important. Yeah, so as good as Astrolabe is, you really feel it when you don't have one. Alright, my whole hand is great right now. So, awkward thing about Force of Negation, if next turn I don't draw a land, they could just make end step Merit Lage, and I go for a Plow, and then they pitch Spirit Guide, Crop Rotation for Sujiri step, and I could lose the game. So I really want to brainstorm for a land here. Because I can't pitch on my own turn for Force of Negation, and I would need 4 lands to do everything I want to do. It would also be a huge beating if they like crop rotation for Wasteland and take me off Tundra. Though they showed me main deck. Did they show me main deck Pithing Needle, or am I thinking about the last match? I don't remember. Yeah, they named Shark Typhoon. So they have main deck Pithing Needle, which means they don't have Wasteland in their deck, because Pithing Needle's in the deck to name Wasteland. They might have a Ghost Quarter, but I don't care about that. Ooh, Game Ender. Alright, so Force of Negation can go back. Oh wait, no, I need a blue card. Alright, Abrupt Decay can go back, and Prismatic Vista. This is actually kind of close. All right, I'll do it like this, and I'm not going to shuffle. So now I can hard cast the Force of Negation, and I have Force Blue card left over. All right, they didn't go for it. Probably a good call. Top of my deck is Abrupt Decay. Is that a card I want? Probably not. I think I want to fetch for Underground Sea. That gets my colors operational. All right, now we're ready to party. I have so many answers in my hand. I almost have more answers in my hand than they have cards in theirs. So if they go for that crop rotation for Zajiri step line, I have the double force to fight it. So you get your 20/20. I plow it. You crop rotation, I force of negation. So I have to get an island with this. All right, so now they have two bayous. If they've been slow rolling a discard spell, this is a great time to work it in around my Veil of Summer. Bummer. All right, so, I mean, I'm not going to force that. They probably have to take Ashiok. But I bet they want to take Veil of Summer. Though if they take Ashiok, that's a powerful card out of my hand, and it's my only blue card for force. So they could follow up with something else. I'm glad I'm on this side of the table and not theirs. They have a lot of hard choices to make. Okay, so they blew a Bajuka Bog that basically didn't do anything. There was no Uro in my graveyard. So we're good there. It was just a necessary land drop. They are at 36 life, which is a lot to overcome without Mentor in your deck. Mentor can make mincemeat out of even 50 life, but when you're winning with Ice Fang Coatl, a little worse. They're thinking hard about what they're going to do in this end step. I wonder if they're deciding if they can win, or do they have another discard spell? Like if they have a discard spell, they should cast it now. I bet they have crop rotation. Either that or they just went to the bathroom. You can never really tell on Magic Online what your opponent's doing in a long pause, but they know right now that crop rotation could resolve, but the question is, does that matter? Like they could go get something, but they know I have trophy to blow up whatever they get. All right, that's a great draw. It's a redraw, fixes the mana. Leave some material in play for the Oko we'll eventually draw. Well, I said inevitably, but here he is right now. So I don't think I can lose this game out of nowhere. They don't have depths or stage or anything, so I'm just going to jam this Oko. And they have perfect information, so I can just F6 and enjoy the show this turn. Needle on Oko. Yep, I can trophy that if I care. Depending on what they do, I may or may not care. Okay, they just super covered that Oko. Fair enough. All right, now Force of Will's back online. So now we're just in the waiting game. This is the classic SnowKo position they want to be in. It was really aggressive to both needle and decay that Oko. Like, one or the other. There's no reason to brainstorm here. My hand does everything I want it to. Now it's just finding an Uro or something that can actually win the game. Alright, Oko's not what I want. This is exactly what I want. Alright, and they packed it up to that. Yeah, that was pretty textbook. Our deck is full of answers. They're trying to present a quick threat, and we don't let them do it. All right, we're on the draw here in round 3. This hand is good. It's got cantrips, Force of Will, one of our threat answers. Oh, we're playing against Shadow. I'm pretty confident that we're playing against Shadow because nothing else puts Watery Grave into play. And there's not even like a second to wonder if maybe they're just a budget player because I'm pretty sure Watery Grave costs more than Underground Sea on Magic Online. So I could ponder off a basic island. I think I want to do that actually. Like normally fetching a basic this early could be a big punish, but we're playing against a wasteland deck. Ugh, that's like so close to what I wanted. We're playing against a wasteland deck, but luckily we just have 2 basics that cast Coatl. We draw our honorary Snowland Tundra. I need a flavor judge ruling on that one. So Death Shadow doesn't play a whole lot of threats, just in general. Oh, I should have forced that. I was busy narrating. Yeah, so this deck doesn't play a lot of threats, and a deck like SnowKo definitely has the tools to just completely run them out. So I'm not gonna block with Coatl this turn. They did not shuffle their library. Now they're preordaining top bottom. Okay. Yeah, Coatl's not gonna block this turn because it'll have Death Touch next turn. Ooh, Grixis Shadow. Did we join a modern queue and nobody told me? So this could get dazed. I think I do want to force this daze. We can get in a little fight here, and then I can have Oko next turn. So next turn I'll have a Death Touch Coatl and also Oko. They did not shuffle their deck. Ooh, backup Coatl. Alright, so now I can touch. I could slam Oko into possible daze. I think that's fine. They didn't have a second daze last turn. Yeah, Force of Will. Can't play around that anyway. And I have a backup Death Touch cantrip fella. I wonder if they have Team or Battle Rage. Like, are they the full modern deck? Alright. If they played TBR, they didn't have it there. Astrolabe, find me Swords to Plowshares. Alright, so we have a backup Coatl now. Wasteland. All right, so here's Ice Fang Quaddle doing the thing that it does right now, which is just brick enemy creatures with ruthless efficiency. All right, we're in business here. So if I put back Misty Rainforest or Misty Rainforest and Underground Sea. So we have to fetch an island because I don't have to do anything. Like I have Astrolabe. Now we gain life. Oh my god, we hit plow. All right, so it will be tough to lose from here. I guess it could happen, but they have one card in their hand. They're also very close to the point. Like they're at 5, and I have 2 power of flyers. Though if I plow the shadow, they go back to 13. All right, they just backed it up. Brainstorm locked. Ice Fang Coatl, the goalie. All right, so against this deck, Force of Negation is not very good. I do like Plague Engineer because it is a Death Touch creature. I like Veil of Summer because they're trying to beat us with discard spells. I like Assassin's Trophy. I like Snapcaster Mage. I don't think I like any of this other stuff. So Force of Negation is coming out. Cling to Dust coming out. Cling to Dust is such a sweet card that we've just easily boarded out every match so far. I want all my removal. Uro's pretty good. I don't think I need 3 of them though. I do generally like Force of Will in this matchup because they run so few ways to actually win the game that I like almost every way I have to remove some of them. Dead of Winter will never kill a Death Shadow, but it can mop up Delvers. And it could get Gurmag Anglers if the game goes long enough. So I think maybe 1 less Force of Will is fine here. Ashiok doesn't do anything. Leovold is pretty good. Maybe I want Leovold. They do rely on their cantrips to find their small number of threats, and Leovold like effectively counters the discard spells because I draw a card. Though I don't know. I don't think I need it. Alright, I'm gonna just play like this. Play to the board. Because that's what they're trying to do, and I think I can do it better. This hand's great. Alright, I like Steam Vents because that means I'm not getting Thoughtseize this turn. I'm gonna jam Astrolabe because, oh wow, that changes things. Alright, I'm just gonna hold up Veil of Summer. In Snow-Covered Forest Go can only mean one thing, so they're probably not just gonna shove a discard spell into this, but I think that, like, pretending I don't have one, ooh, that's pretty nice. Like, I actually do have it, so I don't need to represent that I don't. I don't know if that makes sense. It made sense to me. So I think that I want to just let them attack. Because I can almost guarantee that my plow resolves next turn. So they can have this ponder 1 time, which is kind of crazy. Like, Dreadhorde Arcanist, like, this is in a lot of people's ban conversations. Like, it's too good for the format. But I I think in this spot specifically, like, why would I play into Daze and Force of Will and all this other stuff when I could easily play around it if I wait a turn? Alright, so I'm just hitting all my land drops. The dream is if they try to cast a discard spell in their main phase, and then I can plow, and then they force, and then I veil to brick their discard spell and their counter spell. That's like the best way this could line up for me. Force of Will is in their hand. If they don't play a spell, all right, that's a spell. So now I think I'm more worried about Dreadhorde Arcanist than Delver because of the Brainstorm. And having double veil is super messed up. Like even if they force back again, what do they exile? They exiled a Brainstorm. All right. This has been a good deal all around. All right, now I have to deal with this Delver, and that is still the premier threat of Legacy. So now they're above 13, and they don't have black mana up, so we're pretty covered. All right, that's a nice one. So I'm gonna hold my horses. I can Brainstorm in their end step if I need to. But I kind of like passing because they were playing around that obvious Veil of Summer. Like they could just jam Thoughtseize here, like so, straight into the next Veil of Summer. The first one was really obvious. They didn't know I had two. And we rip Plow also. Alright, so I'm gonna Brainstorm now. And then I can fetch and cast this Plow. Oh, okay. So that was a heads up play from my opponent. Alright, so I think I want... What do I want here? So I'll get the Swamp. Alright, now you can have my Plows. Alright, Brainstorm hides all the information we don't want them to have. And shuffle. So I still want to play on basics if I can. So they are a Wasteland deck. So I could play this SnowKo. This is as good a time as any. They could have Red Blast, but that's fine. Yep, whatever. Alright, what do I think about this? Brainstorm's good. The rest of this stuff isn't very exciting. I'll just shuffle that. Immediately rewarded with the fresh SnowKo. I guess I could ponder now too. Nothing is stopping me from doing that. I guess they could daze this ponder, but if they want to use a daze on that, I'm not mad about it. Okay, so force a will in my hand now. I don't know what I would force, but I would prefer force in my hand to get discarded over the other options. Like, I guess I would go for a force on a... No, I wouldn't. I'm holding decay and trophy. Yeah, force was silly. I didn't need that. Alright, so I can use force to protect my Oko. That's something worth doing. So I'm actually just going to play Oko. Alright, that's fine. I'm holding Abrupt Decay. Because the top of my deck is Oko also. So if they had fought over this, then, whatever. I'll just let that happen and then play the next one. Alright, I'm going to let them fetch before I destroy this thing. Might as well reduce their life total now that I have a clock. Arcanist. I can make that an elk, so I don't care. Shadow. Alright. So they only have one card in their hand. So I'm going to elk the Death Shadow and destroy the Arcanist. They usually don't play basics, and this version has a whole extra color. And then Uro is arriving next turn, and that should shut this down. Unless one of their last cards is Surgical Extraction, then we're going to play a little longer, but not really. Alright, and the game ended. Again, super easy. I think if you built a deck specifically with the plan of losing to SnowKo, it would be Death Shadow. Because there's just so many answers in this deck and so few threats in this one. Alright, we're on the play for round 4. It's the first time being on the play in this league, and rewarded with no lands. Alright, this hand's fine. I'll send one of the coatls to the bottom. I guess I could send Decay. Yeah, I'm actually going to bottom Decay. The coatl is more open. Like, if I knew what my opponent was doing, I'd be able to make a more informed decision, but playing the card that gives you is dead less of the time. Like, they could just be like combo where Abrupt Decay doesn't do anything, or control where it's not that great. So I'm keeping my options open by just keeping the cantrip in my hand. Alright, this is a little awkward. I want Force of Will to end up in my hand right now, just in case there's something busto. I guess I want Brainstorm under it. I said it was awkward because I want to hit my land drops, but I also want to cast Icefang Coatl on turn 2, probably. Alright, Once Upon a Time. So this could be Eldrazi or Elves. Okay, they're one of these primetime stompy decks. Old Ancient Tomb Go strategy. Alright, is this Dryad coming into play right now? Probably. So I can let this resolve and Swords to Plowshare it. But then I'm set back pretty far on my coatls. I'm gonna let this resolve and plow it. I want to save my Force of Will for something scarier like a Primeval Titan. So I guess I should brainstorm first if I'm gonna plow. All right, found the green land. We're in business. Now how do I sequence this? So I want a land. I'm gonna have to put back one of these coatls. Maybe I just, I have to keep one for force. So I think I have to put them back like this. And get Tundra, Plow, and Sylvan Library is the play here. So I'm holding up Forest Blue card. And I can start to reload my hand. It's another Dryad. All right, this one I'll fight over. I might regret that. Though they are turboing out these Valakutes. Okay, so I'll put this on top. I can actually just put both of these on top because they're not good. I think I want to get Underground Sea just to have all my colors. All right, that was the perfect draw if they do go for Primeval Titan right now. Oh, it was not the perfect draw if they go for Chalice right now. Courser, with Ancient Tomb on top. All right, so SnowKo is my best draw, as usual. Okay, so I have enough. I think I have to just pay the max here. I could lose on the spot for doing that, but I have no other way to work through these cards. All right, Force of Will was timely. So they have Ancient Tomb and one Unknown in hand. All right, now they have Ancient Tomb in hand. All right, there's the SnowKo. We're in business. Put on top, put on top. I just sequenced those backwards because I was just playing bad. So this is a little bit interesting. So I'm holding the force. If I make food, then that will kind of force an attack. Like if they don't attack me, I'll steal their Courser of Crufix. I just need to fade Cavern of Souls into prime time, and I think we'll be all right. All right, backup Chalice is super lame. Oh, and a third Chalice. All right, so we're playing through triple Chalice here. My God. All right, so do they Chalice on 2, or do they stick with the plan of just locking out my ones? All right. Oh, there is that play that I lined up. So I think if they chalice on 1, I have to force it. If they chalice on 2, I don't care. Okay, that was good. All right, they have another chalice coming off the top, unfortunately. All right, Force of Negation is pretty good. So what can I do here? I can put the land back. I'm gonna put back this and this. I can name Dryad with Plague Engineer and then attack for 3. We know they're drawing Chalice. So now they're suddenly under the gun, and we're just ignoring their triple chalices. They're on a 2-turn clock, and I have Force of Will, and I know they're essentially hellbent. All right, top, top. So now I can hardcast Force. All right, they're dead next turn, and they are holding 1 card. I think I should have paid 4 to keep Force of Negation in my hand too, just in case, though I can't imagine what that would matter. All right, this ignoring Chalice of the Void, like you do. Okay, so this is certainly a deck I want Ashiok against. The rest of these cards are pretty medium. Snapcaster is pretty good. Does Leovold do anything? They showed me Dryad Arbor, but should I assume they're a Green Sun Zenith deck? They seem pretty reliant on having their Dryad of the Elysian Groves. They are a Chalice of the Void deck, but I don't think I want to max out on Force of Negations for that. Dead of Winter could be pretty strong. I don't think I need Plague Engineer, although it was like pretty nice that game. Once again, Cling to Dust, 4 for 4, leaving the deck. Plow, basically best card. Uro, pretty good. So I could cut 1 more Uro. Alright, I mean, that looks pretty reasonable. Dead of Winter is the last card. Is that something I want? Or would I prefer Leovold? Because Leovold draws a card off of Valakut triggers. I'm not sure if that matters, but it's true. Alright, I'm gonna leave in a Dead of Winter for this one, in case because they do have a value plan if they just play like Dryad and Corsair and the Arbor. Alright, I like this hand. I can force their Chalice, and then I have land Astrolabe to get things going. I love playing Fair Blue against Stompy decks, just in general. Like, any deck with Ancient Tomb and Chalice in it, I'm pretty happy to be playing this side of the matchup. Alright, so that could fetch Dryad Arbor. I don't think I care if it does, though. Like, I'm not going to leave up Swords to Plowshares instead of developing with Astrolabe. Though plowing a Dryad Arbor on turn 1 is pretty much the dream. Alright, our 1-lander is now a 3-lander. We're all set up to play this game. Turn 2 Sylvan Library is imminent. I want to save this Force of Will because there's a good chance they choke me, though choke is kind of a weird card to have in your Dryad of the Elysian Groves deck. Though I've seen enough hilarious moto photos of people locked out by their own chokes that I'm not going to hold it against anyone. I think Chalice. So I could just play. All right, yeah, I'm going to ignore this Chalice for now. Because I have the turn 2 Sylvan Library lined up. I have the Force of Will backup. I just don't want to lose to a choke. And while this deck does have the lands to technically be able to play through a choke, and I have the Astrolabe already, this hand is not a hand that can do that. Uh-oh. Good thing I held back this Force of Will. Alright, so Giant. This is Uro. Uro and Primeval Titan are both giants, by the way, which is pretty fun. Okay, so they definitely don't have choke. I don't have to worry about that. I don't think I saw any blue mana in the first game. I could have assumed it was there, but I did not. So put this on top, and I'll pay 4 for this one. Just because my life total is pretty robust. I'm just going to start developing. Alright, I have an Uro of my own and Ashiok. Ashiok is the cat's pajamas. So they're probably going to play Uro, or I guess they're several cards away from playing Uro. Zenith, that's worth a Force of Will in my estimation. And then Ashiok will shut down both the Uro in their graveyard and the Primeval Titan in their hand. Put on top, put on top. Ashiok. Exile their shit. Alright. I'm feeling pretty good in this spot. I was right to guess they're a Zenith deck. Corsair. Leovold. Alright, so if I keep one of these, I'll end up with the other two anyway. So I'll pay 4 to keep this. And put this on top. So green, blue, colorless. I draw the decay, play that. I want to hit them with Ashiok because I don't want to play against Leovold. All right, Scavenging Ooze also a huge beating. So I better ponder. That doesn't do anything, does it? Oh, that sucks. Maybe I should have just let them have that. So I can still ponder. Quaddle, Astrolabe. I mean, all this stuff is pretty good. I am unfortunately going to lose my Uro. There will be more where that came from, don't worry. I can decay this idiot. And I can plow the ooze. Uro's gonna go, unfortunately. The Sylvan Library is still dominating this game also. All right, put on top, put on top. So I can draw a card with Astrolabe. That will be the Coatl, and then I can shuffle away that land I don't want. I'll get a forest to continue playing around. Choke, even though I'm pretty sure I don't have to. All right, and I think I want a Coatl now. Ambushing something in combat versus the potential to draw Oko right now and cast it. All right, Dead of Winter is pretty nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that's basically damnation. All right, are they going to jam Primeval Titan? Are they going to jam Green Sun Zenith? I would love either of those things to happen. I did not love that thing happening. Though they are hellbent now against my Sylvan Library. Though I did lose my best card, but let's reload. All right. Containment Priest is a nice one. I'll keep Oko and get rid of that. Oko. Astrolabe. And we're going to begin the beatdowns here. So this attack is nice because Containment Priest gets to eat Dryad Arbor in combat. Please cast Green Sun Zenith, Green Sun Zenith, Green Sun Zenith. Vraska Golgari Queen, my god. Alright, so that can kill Oko, right? Destroy target non-land permanent, yeah. With convert mana cost 3 or less. That can kill Oko. They might... Alright, they're just drawing cards instead. I was about to say they might want to kill Sylvan Library instead, but reloading their own hand makes a lot of sense here too. They have some powerful top decks. Nissa Vastwood Seer. Alright, powerful top decks indeed. Their deck is so sweet. So there's a good chance that I'm gonna Wrath this turn. So, or I could Suicide Oko to take Nissa and make it a Planeswalker. I think that's pretty good, and that attacks Vraska for 4 also. Okay, so I control for one I don't control. And then let's flip Nissa. Oh shit. It goes back into play under its owner's control. My bad. Well, at least I get to kill it. I'm not going to pretend I did that on purpose, but it did turn out all right. I also had that thing under control with Caracas, so I don't know what I'm doing over here. That whole turn was a mess. Green Sun Zenith. Cast Green Sun Zenith. Are they going to sack the Astrolabe to draw a card? Yep. I threw Oko in the graveyard for no reason. That was so bad. Under its owner's control. Yep, it does say that. It's right there on the card. I'm glad Vraska drew a card instead of destroying Sylvan Library, though. And Containment Priest coming in clutch here. They didn't leave up Abrupt Decay mana. That probably means they don't have it more than they forgot or misplayed. But Dryad of Elysian Grove entered the Exile Zone. You're allowed to fail to find, unless they just wanted that card in exile for some reason. Alright, I don't want the pile of lands on top of my deck. How about an Uro? Nope. Alright, so what is the ultimate here? Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, they lose the game. That sounds pretty bad. So I'm just going to unload on Vraska here. That turn was catastrophically bad. That's why you read the cards. The funny thing is, I feel like if I was playing paper, that would have worked. Yeah, this steady supply of cards off of Vraska has been pretty good, though it has come at a cost. They have had to lose a couple permanents for it. Once upon a time, the hard way. Uro's back. Well, I can't really plow that because they have Caracas. Oh no, you're a Wasteland deck also? Get out of here. Alright, so we're getting into a nice little Uro fight. If they try to Caracas it, I'll plow it, but I can't plow first. Obviously, because they have Caracas. I should be able to clear the Nissa this turn. Or Vraska, whoever this is. Vraska. Alright, so they got greedy. And I'm happy to punish it. That probably means... Alright, they did not find a land. You want to attack me for one? Nope. Alright, come on, Uro. Oko is also acceptable. Top on top. So I can turn my Astrolabe into an elk. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, Astrolabe's an elk now. These will kill Vraska. And then go face and go face. And here we are. We're ahead on board, but they have a lot of scary top decks. They also have a lot of shitty top decks with Containment Priest in play. All their Zeniths are dead, though I think they only have one left in their deck. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, they only have one Zenith left in the deck. I am pretty close to dead to Valakut. So if they just go Dryad Valakut, then I would take 3. So I do have to watch out for that. I have to manage my life total in that way. Come on, Uro. Nope. Top. Top. I'm gonna make a food. That'll start padding my life total. I will leave back a blocker at this point. Just any of these like little chip shots could be the one that kills me. Reclamation Sage, oh no. That's so good. My Sylvan Library was the key to this game. Alright, it's dead now. I will keep getting basics. And draw the non-basic. Yeah, I'm just gonna make more food. At this point, I just want my life total to stick around. And I'm gonna hold on to this Tundra because Brainstorm is still in my deck. Oh no. That's trouble. It removes my blocker for one, but I'm much more worried about the Green Sun Zeniths. Okay, I don't care at all about them attacking Oko. I'd be much more worried about my life total here. That's a good one. So they're at 19. 1, 2, 3, 7. That's a 3-turn clock. If I make it 10, it's a 2-turn clock. Alright, so I'm going to elk this up. And I can go to 7 life as needed. I have a plow. It'd take a pretty good top deck to win from here, but I assume this deck plays Field of the Dead. Like if they draw Primeval Titan and go and get Field of the Dead. Oh shit, I don't have any white mana. I guess I have to do this. I didn't play the Tundra. I'm gonna take them off a mana rather than an extra damage. And that means my clock is still lethal. Ancient Tomb. This looks like Zenith for Primeval Titan. Or no, it's Zenith for Dryad. And then they play a fetch land. What's happening? Zenith for Primeval Titan. Alright, so they can get Field of the Dead, maybe 2 of them, and really gum up the ground. Alright, yep. So the ground is officially gum. Let's see, they should attack me. Let's see if they attack Oko again. Alright, they figured out to attack me. I am at 2. So, Dead of Winter will clear this board. I almost certainly have to Dead of Winter. The question is, I'll take a draw step before I make my decision. Alright, so I'm gonna Dead of Winter. These are still snow permanents, even though they are. Or I could pad my life total. Oh, non-snow creatures? Wow, I'm so lucky. I didn't even know what my card did, and I still won. I forgot that Dead of Winter said non-snow, so this is just lethal. All right, a embarrassing stumble over the finish line, but that game was pretty well under control. All right, 1 to go. And it's time for the final round. This hand is not a keeper, unfortunately. This hand is great. So I somehow think that shipping a land is better than shipping Cling. Because Cling could be great. Oh, they're a Taiga deck. Taiga King. So Taiga decks might have Life from the Loam in it, so that's where Cling to Dusk is great. I sent the Misty Rainforest to the bottom instead of the Polluted Delta because I'm fetching a basic here anyway, and Misty Rainforest is better at fetching forest. Like, I wasn't fetching forest here, I wanted basic island, and Polluted Delta is the worse fetch land than Misty Rainforest in the overall context of my deck. Okay, so I have Caracas that can mess with a Merit Lage. And I have Cling that, oh my god, what is happening over there? The old 5 spells lands deck. Okay. I'll just get the other Astrolabe out there. I think I want to get basic something Forest probably and cast Ponder. So I don't know what my opponent's up to over there. It looks pretty crazy. I definitely want this Plow. They don't have much going on. So I can Uro and Plow next turn. What hand do you keep in a deck that contains these 2 cards that only has 1 land? Unless they're planning to just combo kill me, just like next turn play 5 lands, I don't know what's going on here. Okay, so my top card is a land. So I'll play this, then unless they're like slow rolling Wastelands and Bajuka Bogs, because they're not getting value out of them anyway. I don't know. But let's at least remove that small bit of concern. Okay, they were slow rolling a Bajuka Bog. That's fine. I have 5 lands in play to their 2 at this point. Here's Oko. I think I just want to get clocking. Crop rotation, huh? I will let that resolve. And I don't have a counterspell ready, but I don't think that's worth brainstorming for a counterspell over. Plus, I don't think brainstorm is even like something I want here. So they probably have loam now. Like that was a pretty aggressive crop rotation. Okay, so I can cling the bog. Or I probably just want to cling the loam. All right, yeah. Let that resolve, and I'll cling the loam. Like I was hoping to kind of mana screw them a little, but that is not what happened. All right, so now I have force. And I just want to bring the pain. As much as I don't want to just hang out my Caracas here to get wastelanded, I want to brainstorm away this Tundra, and I need mana in play to do that and hold up force. Okay, that's fired. They're going to spend a second punishing fire on this. So they're at 10. I could just force here. I could also just let them have their... So I can put them to 4, and then they have to spend a turn killing this. I think I do want to just force this. So I have blue, blue, green, green. I only have the one black source, though I think I would rather have more blue. All right, and they just packed it up to that. That was a weird start. They were doing some like pretty cool land stuff over there. Like they just set up for this mid game where they suddenly exploded into doing relevant things. All right, so Leovold's great against punishing fire. Assassin's Trophy is great against lands. Ashiok great against lands. We like Snapcaster Mage. Surgical against the Loam deck's pretty good. I don't think I want Dead of Winter. Force of Negation is very good against the Loam deck. The Exile Clause on Force is so juicy. Cling to Dust finally showed up. Clutch, did something nice. All right, so one less Uro, as usual. I think I want the plows at the max. I think I can go one less Force of Will. Plague Engineer, not the best here. And maybe I only want one Surgical. This looks like a reasonable spread. All right, let's do this. This is a deck that probably has choke, so cutting one of the decays was not necessarily my favorite thing. All right, come on, Astrolabe. All right, that's not Astrolabe. So I can plow this thing now, or I can just try to slow and steady my way up to Ashiok, and I think that's going to be a better plan. So I'm going to get basic island here. All right, we found Astrolabe. Now we're Gucci. So we found a Astrolabe and our third land. So next turn I can Astrolabe plus fetch plains. Oh, nope, I can only do one of those things now. Alright, so they can't choke next turn because of their own sphere. I definitely want access to Assassin's Trophy in case they do get a choke out. Alright, still attacking. So they're not going to try to crop rotate with Reclaimer this turn. Reclaimer. So I'm going to pass. I might be able to coaddle them in combat. And if not, I'm at least holding up Plow. And I'm going to coaddle this turn, pretty much regardless. So I can get the Forest and coaddle. So now I have a blocker and a removal spell for and 2 removal spells. Well, I can only cast one of them. That land was a clutch find. So I can probably just want to plow this. No reason to get fancy. Though I could also trophy the... Okay. Slow and steady. Yeah, so I can try to answer the Merit Lage. They're just going to play a control game here. That's fine. Oh, okay. Clothis, God of Destiny. Well, I don't have a counterspell for that. Okay, that's in play now. Alright, so I'm going to plow both of these. Like, I have to force this game into a position where they have to go for Merit Lage and get blown out. Because if they're just beating me down and they have Punishing Fire active, then they have no reason to do anything else. Yeah, I'm just going to Ashiok here. And then that'll answer the P-Fire. Messes up a lot of what their deck's trying to do. If they jam Choke here, I am deadzos. Uh-oh, this looks like Choke. Shit. Well, there's that. Time to draw a non... Yeah, there we go. Time to draw... I was saying it's time to draw a non-island land. So I think Swamp or Plains are what I have left. I think Swamp is better. Swamp gives me a chance to... none of these are helpful. Okay, so I can trophy the Choke and get back in here. Though I probably don't have time for that. I can't afford to trophy the Choke. I'm going to have to trophy the Dark Depths after they go for the... Or they copy Dark Depths, they sack it, then I trophy the stage. That's how this works. Alright, Ashiok's dead. So if they go for Merit Lage, I can just answer that. If they don't, I can hit their choke in the end step. Great. They had another one. Okay. That's a turn where they're not Merit Laging me, though. Yeah, they've boarded into a pretty nice prison deck here, while threatening this Merit Lage all along. This this is bad news. They just basically have me totally hard locked while this Clothis eats me. They can blast zone my Astrolabes out of here. Yep, they're dead. I can still cast Trophy. That was pretty sweet. Okay, so if I cast Leovold here, then I have something in play, and I can still Trophy when I untap. I'm sure that's not going to matter. There's so many things in the graveyard for Clothis to eat. And now that I'm tapped out, they can just like jam Merit Lage, though I don't think they're going to do that. Not main phase anyway, because they know I have Oko in my deck. Alright, this should lock me out with the Rishadan port. There is a basic plains left to fetch here. Not that I want to do that. There's the basic plains. So there are no basics left to fetch. Prismatic Vista is just nothing. Alright. I will draw a card. That gets tapped. I'm trying to think if I even have an answer to Clothis in the deck. I don't think that I do. Okay, so that resolves. They sack that, and then I trophy here. I probably shouldn't have done that. Like showing them that I have Assassin's Trophy in my deck when I'm just 100% gonna lose this game. Yeah, I should have just conceded. I guess if I draw a... Oh no, they can just re-2020 right now. If I draw a blue source, we might still be playing. Creature card, gain 3, otherwise draw a card. Cling to Dust can help control Clothis damage. Let's see if they go for the Merit Lage again here. They did not go for the Merit Lage. So Cling to Dust can... I hope they go after Coatl. They did not. All right. So that saves me 2 life. And now I have Underground Sea, so I can play Coatl to block Merit Lage for a turn if I need to. Or if they make Merit Lage to block Leovold, then I can Oko it. Though now they have plenty of mana for Schadenport plus make Merit Lage. And I don't have enough mana to do everything I would like to do. Okay, so you get that. Yeah, I'm just dead to Clothis here, though. That was fun for a little while. All right, the double choke got me. I was ready for one, so I'm gonna bring in Abrupt Decay back. They showed me a lot of permanents that I care about. I think I want maximum force of will also. I'm kind of off surgical extraction. I think we can do better than that based on how that game went. Like, I have Cling to Dust and Ashiok and Force of Negation for Loam. So what is the last cut here? It might just be a Coatl. Or it might be this. No, Leo. Leo's pretty good. Punishing Fire and Rashad and Port in their deck. I think I want the Leo. So Sylvan Library's great. I think it is just a Coatl. Yeah, alright. Let's do this. Alright, this hand is pretty good. A lot of proactive things to do. I will start with a Forest. Just play around Choke from turn 1. Astrolabe lets me do that. This is not what I'm going to fight over with these forces. I perfectly played around Wasteland. I'll continue to do that for the rest of the game. Gonna end step Coatl here. Sylvan Library. That's not a card I want to play against. Do I force it or do I trophy it? I think I should draw my card off of my Coatl and then make a decision. All right, so another Force of Will. So I can force Pitch Force on this. They might have Red Blast. And then I untap and trophy that. That ramps them. I'm not excited about that, but I would prefer them to have Rampant Growth over Ancestral Recall every turn. Yeah, there's the Red Blast. That's fine. Library mercifully doesn't have any specific, like, immediate impact on the board. So I can trophy this. Make black, green. Yeah, this is the tenuous point of this game. Either they're gonna do something to take control, or I'm gonna untap and be okay for a little while. Alright, they wasted me in my upkeep. But I am undeterred. I think I should have held up Force there. That was really greedy to cast this Uro. Alright, I drew a blue card, so mostly unpunished, I hope. So I'm fired. Okay. I can't counter that on my own turn. I'm not sure that I would anyway. No, thank you. Please don't red blast me. Okay. Please don't have another loam. Alright, so let's draw a green source right now. Really any land, because I have Astrolabe. Alright. We're doing it, team. So I'm going to get the swamp. I can make green, green, blue, blue. Uro. Exile. It's kind of awkward because I would like to empty my hand of things I care about. Or empty my graveyard out of things that Clothis can eat, but I also have to keep in mind that I have Snapcaster Mage in my deck. So they have Caracas for this Uro, which is kind of a bummer. Jeez, alright. Backup Loam also. And Caracas is only kind of an answer to Uro. So they took a draw instead of Dredging Loam. So Punishing Fire is one of the cards in their hand. I don't know if I know the other one. Punishing Fire and Wasteland are the cards in their hand. Alright. Alright, so they're gonna Caracas before I attack. Of course. And then I'm gonna deploy Uro. I am not going to put Caracas into play because I don't want them to waste it for free. Alright, they milled Clothis. That's one of their best cards against me. Though I think my opportunity to win this game is mostly past. Like, I need Ashiok or Cling to Dust pretty much immediately. We're going to play a lot of game left still here, though. But it might be past. Them having this Caracas just randomly. Like, they didn't search for it, they didn't loam it up or anything. It was just happened to be in their opening hand, and that was everything. Alright, we like brainstorms. A fetch land would let me re-Uro. Okay, so there is still a basic plains in the deck. So Tropical Island. There's a basic forest in the deck too. I think I'm more interested in that. Alright, so here comes Uro. It will get bounced again, but we got to get these cards cranking. I can ponder here, or I can hold up Force. Well, I think I'm going to hold up Force. I don't want to just die to a crop rotation. So if they had responded to Uro with that, they could have got it back for free. So small missequence there. I mean, very small. Like I have one more life than I would if they had done the other thing. Yeah, like my kingdom for Cling to Dust at this point. Now it doesn't matter. With that Peat land in play, they can draw a card in response to Cling. Do I want to Ponder first or Uro first? Probably Ponder. Okay, this is a pretty good spread of cards. I am not going to shuffle blue, green. The basic plains is still in the deck for Prismatic Vista. My next card down is Swords to Plowshares. I probably don't want that. All right, the race is on. Uro certainly does a good job of making Punishing Fire a difficult win con. I do have to watch my clock, though. I'm way behind on clock. All right, that Wasteland is finally in play. All right, if they cast Choke here, do I care? Clothis, I care a lot about. Seems they play multiple of those. So I'm going to pitch Coatl because Snapcaster is better. Like Snap Ponder is more exciting. Okay, they had the Red Blast. You got me. Reclaimer. So I can plow that in the end step. Does that mean I want to draw the other plow, though? I think it does. So I draw this plow. Then Snapcaster for Ponder. I want to do all this before my shuffle. Basic Plains. Get rid of that. And then Oko. The Punishing Fire can get this under control pretty well. But I do want to pressure them. Like, I don't want to give them infinite time to do whatever they want, because they're going to win that game. And I want to stick my Oko this turn on a turn where they can't make Merit Lage. This is going to eat Uro. Oh, they eat Plow. Okay. That's better for me. I guess they're in no hurry to eat Uro. I would have to do a lot of dancing around to get Uro to play this turn. Yeah, I desperately need Ashiok or Cling to Dust. That's pretty much the entire plan right now. There is no other plan. Wasting me would be a huge mistake, because then I can bring back Uro. Alright, they don't care though. They're not worried about it. Which is a reasonable position to have, I suppose. So I'll get the Underground Sea because I care about that the least. Exile my whole graveyard, make Klothys target their own graveyard. Come on, Ashiok. That's not Ashiok. They don't have red mana to get that back. That's pretty sweet. And I'm gonna make a food. I could have upgraded Snapcaster to a 3/3, but that still doesn't beat their 3/4. Yeah, normally when I play decks like this, I have a back to basics or some huge whammy to beat these sorts of matchups, and this one just doesn't have it. Like I said, this one would have been in the bag hours ago if they didn't just naturally have Caracas. But I'm over 20 life, so I can take a hit from Merit Lage if I need to dance around a little bit. Like I can just leave this Caracas in my hand forever, let them put me to 5. So Misty, Peatland, and Wasteland. Okay. And Cling to Dust, without having a graveyard to escape Cling with, it's a lot less exciting. But at least answering this Punishing Fire would be a big start. I don't super care about Life from the Loam right now. Ashiok would just be the banger, though. As usual, Ashiok Game Ender. They probably just want to fire my Snapcaster. Oh, they're firing Oko. They're just going after it. Oh, they don't want me to steal their Reclaimer. Or they don't want it to be free for me to do that, at least. So they have no lands in their graveyard. So now would be a pretty good time to elk something up. So they can Wasteland and activate Reclaimer. They can get a fetch land with it, I guess. Now they can't do that, so they would have to waste their own land for a Reclaimer to be effective in combat here. All right, so it is not involved in combat. Okay, that's pretty good. I forgot about that one. So they eat my Snapcaster for free, or they just don't care because they're at 21. That's also pretty smart. Yeah, they're looking for the aggro here. I could use my Caracas to bounce my own Uro before Klothys gets to eat it, but I'm not sure if I care about that. I think that's much worse than having it exposed to being exposed to Merit Lage. Yeah, I am pretty thoroughly just outground here. I don't think I can win this game. Like, there's no mentor in my deck to just explode on them. There's no back to basics to lock them out. Like, my opportunity to get control of this game early on came and went. I probably, like, the way this game played out, I do wish I had at least one surgical extraction in in the deck right now. So that might have been a sideboard mistake. I'm willing to own up to that one. How about that Caracas, though? Caracas is really good in Legacy right now. Ooh. Speaking of good in Legacy, there's Leo. So if they want to do anything like Punishing Fire or whatever, now's the time. And even if they target Leo with Caracas, I get a card off that. I probably should have activated Oko before I did this, though, because now they can pretty easily deal 4 to him with Punishing Fire. Okay, they missed it. I'll take that. Those small gifts. So I think I want another elk. They don't currently have a wasteland into play. So I will put the Caracas in and bounce my own RO. So I still have the Swords to Plowshares, which I'm probably going to need. Yeah, I don't even have a Dead of Winter in my deck right now. Yeah, Thespian Stage copying Field of the Dead is probably just better than making Merit Lage right now, even. Yes, I would like to do that. I could die to... No, I don't die, so I'll exile this Reclaimer right now. Because even if they have crop rotation for Merit Lage, I'm at 30, so it's fine. Crop rotation for another Field of the Dead is pretty much unbeatable, though. Pretty sure the Tundra is already gone. Yeah, long gone. Yeah, so I think I sideboarded wrong for game 3. So they have the inevitability, so we have to take our windows where we can to break up their engine, and surgical extraction is just another way to break up their engine. So I am definitely not winning this game. And at this point, there's no way around it. So I'll block 2 of these, and then Punishing Fire will pick them both off, and then I have an empty board against their zombies. Alright, they didn't pick it off. That's cool. Rashad and Port. Okay. So they can make a 20/20 this turn. That seems like an aggressive use of Grove of the Burn Willows because they know I have Uro in my hand, and I'm probably going to gain life anyway. There's Cling. And I tap my black mana. Whoops. I can't also tap my white mana. I gotta shut up. Gotta stop. All right. All right, let's get in there. At their 21 life. Yes, I would like another card. Yep. Like I said, Field of the Dead is just a better card than Merit Lage right now. Okay. I'm ready to concede at this point. I've been dead for a while, but yeah, so against that deck, should have had the surgicals in just to bridge the gap at least till I can do other stuff. I would probably put a back to basics in this deck, as funny as that is, because it's a 5-color deck. If lands is a big part of your meta or you're expecting it. Like we disassembled Turbo Depths pretty easily, but the actual red-green lands was really tough. So, but and that deck is built to beat up on fair blue decks like this, so that makes some sense, and we don't have any dedicated hate for them. But otherwise, this league went pretty well. We picked apart decks we were supposed to pick apart. We lost to Mill with their aggro crab draw, and we lost to lands. So pretty much expected. Also, a 3-2 result is exactly what I would expect with SnowKo. Like, I will always win more than I lose with this deck, and sometimes if fortune favors me, I might end up with a 4-1 or 5-0. But in general, like this is just a completely middle of the road, fair and square deck with tools against everything, not great against anything. We didn't play against any combo, but combo pretty much dumpsters this deck. But anyway, that's the deck. You've been watching it. You know how it goes. Thanks for watching. As always, like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at Bosch and Roll. We can talk about Magic there. And see you next time.